Listen to me very carefully. Right now, an angel is holding a glowing ledger, and your name is written in bright, unmistakable light. Your divine wealth transfer has just been stamped, approved. But dark shapes are moving in fast, desperately trying to smudge your name out and erase your blessing before heaven's vault opens. If you scroll away now, they win. Stay with me. I need to show you the exact spiritual code to lock in this transfer before it is stolen. This is not merely about financial overflow. What hangs in the balance right this second is your calling, your profound peace, and the generational freedom of your family line. Heaven operates on appointed times, and its vaults do not remain open indefinitely. The reason you have faced such brutal warfare, sudden confusion, and heavy discouragement lately is precisely because you are standing at the absolute threshold of this release. The enemy knows your timeline. If you treat this as just another passing message, you risk walking blindly past the greatest turning point of your destiny. You have been told your entire life that waiting in silence is simply part of the process. You are taught to keep your head down, work hard, pray quietly, and accept that eventually, maybe, a breakthrough will naturally arrive. You go through your daily routines, and you readily accept every closed door as a simple matter of divine timing. Over the years, you have conditioned yourself to believe that managing your lack and suffering quietly is a hallmark of true spiritual maturity. You look around and assume that heaven's blessings are randomly scattered, falling gracefully on a lucky few while you are meant to just endure the endless, painful grind. But what if I told you that this passive acceptance is the exact trap designed to keep your vault permanently locked? The harsh reality is that the enemy has weaponized your patience. While you thought you were humbly waiting on God, God has actually been waiting on you. The unspoken truth of the spirit realm is that heaven does not release its greatest treasures to the passive. It responds to legal, spiritual authority. Right this very second, a massive, unprecedented transfer has already been stamped and approved with your exact name on it. But because you haven't aggressively claimed it, dark forces have been quietly intercepting your deliveries right under your nose. They desperately want you to stay quiet. They need you to keep confusing spiritual numbness with holy submission. But right now, the rules change. The vault is already unlocked. The angels are already deployed. The only thing missing, your voice. You see, the ultimate hidden truth of the spirit realm is that heaven operates on a dual-key security system. God already turned his key at the cross, leaving the vault completely unlocked on his end. Your spoken agreement is the second key. For years, you were led to believe that silence was holy submission. But here is the shocking twist: the enemy didn't just want to keep you quiet. He actively programmed you to speak your own delays. Every time you voiced frustration, sighed in defeat, or verbally accepted your lack as just the way it is, you are literally hitting return to sender on your own divine deliveries. You are tricked into locking yourself inside a cell where the door was already wide open. But that deception shatters right now. The timeline is violently accelerating. God is bypassing traditional waiting periods and collapsing decades of stolen blessings into a matter of days. The heavenly host isn't just hovering anymore. They are standing at high alert, holding the literal blueprints of your financial and spiritual inheritance, waiting for the exact moment you finally stop crying over the past and start commanding your future. Look at the traditional religious mindset. It trains you to approach God like a starving beggar pleading for scraps. You are taught to cry out, "Please, Lord, maybe one day you will bless me." That passive begging is the fatal flaw crippling millions. It sounds holy, but it actually insults the finished work of the cross. When you plead for what has already been deposited into your heavenly account, you aren't demonstrating humility. You are demonstrating spiritual amnesia. You act like an outsider hoping for a lucky handout rather than a legal heir authorizing a withdrawal. The breakthrough paradigm changes everything. Heirs do not beg. They execute their rights, while the ordinary believer stays trapped in an endless cycle of hoping the bank manager takes pity on them. The awakened heir walks straight into the vault, presents their spiritual authority, and activates the transfer. The enemy is absolutely terrified you will realize this distinction. As long as he keeps you stuck in the conventional loop of begging for a future miracle, he easily blocks you from the massive wealth already cleared in your name today. This is where you gain the ultimate unfair advantage. The core secret that shatters the enemy's blockade is a specific spiritual code, angelic activation through vocalized alignment. Right now, there is an elite legion of ministering angels assigned specifically to your financial and generational restoration. But here is the truth you are kept from: angels do not respond to your tears. They do not react to your complaints, and they absolutely cannot be dispatched by your passive waiting. They obey one frequency, and one frequency only: the spoken word of your legal inheritance. When you boldly declare what is already yours, you bypass the demonic interference in the second heaven entirely. You establish an instantaneous, unhackable tether between heaven's vault and your earthly reality. The spiritual audit is officially closed, and your name is currently flashing on the master ledger. But this divine window is ruthlessly time-sensitive. If you choose to remain silent in this precise moment, that unprecedented transfer bounces back to the treasury. If you open your mouth and execute your rights out loud, the delivery executes instantly. But the very second you inhale to make that command, hell initiates its absolute most desperate, violent counteroffensive. The demonic forces know they are exactly one breath away from losing total control over your bloodline. So they trigger the ultimate trap. You will suddenly feel an inexplicable, suffocating heaviness in your chest, a paralyzing wave of exhaustion, or a loud, mocking voice will start screaming in your mind, telling you that your past mistakes disqualify you, that you're arrogant for demanding this, and that nothing will ever actually change. The enemy is throwing every sudden distraction, every spike of anxiety, and every ounce of guilt at you right in this exact microsecond for one single purpose: to freeze your vocal cords. They are terrified because they can clearly see the angelic vanguard already breaching the ceiling of your reality. The spiritual atmosphere around you is literally cracking under the massive pressure of the open vault. And if you let this final, overwhelming wave of fear shut your mouth, they win. But you are not going to let them win today. Push through that sudden suffocation. Draw in the breath of the Spirit, shatter that demonic heaviness, and speak the exact spiritual code that hell dreads. I align my voice with heaven, and I execute my legal right to my divine inheritance. The very millisecond those words leave your lips, the dark shapes that were desperately trying to smudge your name violently scatter. They evaporate, obliterated by the sheer authority of your spoken agreement. That glowing ledger in the angel's hands is no longer just approved. It is permanently sealed. Your name burns in an unquenchable light, completely immune to any demonic erasure. The spiritual atmosphere doesn't just crack, it shatters. The massive ancient doors of heaven's vault blow wide open, flooding your earthly reality with the exact restoration and generational wealth you thought was lost forever. The agonizing season of silent, passive begging is dead. You have finally awakened to the ultimate truth. God never designed you to be a helpless victim waiting on a random miracle. He forged you to be a sovereign heir, a co-creator with divine authority. The transfer is no longer pending. It is finished. You are no longer waiting on heaven, because heaven has finally synchronized with you. Now, step into the daylight of this new reality. The heavy armor you've worn for years, the anxiety, the constant survival mode, the silent suffering can finally be taken off and left on the floor. You don't need it where you're going. You are stepping into a season where your daily steps are backed by the full treasury of God, where doors swing open before you even knock, and where the resources you need to build your family's legacy flow to you without the agonizing friction of the past. Hold your head high. You have proven your faith in the dark, and now God is rewarding you in the open. Your voice is the ultimate weapon, and your spiritual agreement is the master key. Never let the enemy convince you to stay quiet again. If you feel the undeniable truth of this shift burning in your spirit, seal this breakthrough right now. Type, "I receive my inheritance," in the comments to legally document your alignment. And subscribe to this channel so you never miss another divine mandate. The vault is wide open. Now, go walk in it.